Have you ever noticed those tiny shifts in a relationship? The small changes that you try to ignore, but your gut tells you something is off. It often starts with something as simple as a text message, or the lack of one. This is a story about that. A story about what happens when the goodnights stop. It was just another Tuesday. Or at least, that's what I told myself. I remember staring at my phone, the screen glowing in the dark room. 11:47 p.m. My thumb hovered over his name, our chat history a long, comforting scroll of daily check-ins, silly memes, and without fail, a goodnight text. For 2 years, that's how we ended every single day. It was our ritual, our digital kiss before sleep. But that night, there was nothing. Just my last message, sent hours ago, sitting there with a single check mark. Delivered, but not read. My mind started racing. Is he okay? Did his phone die? Maybe he just fell asleep early. I typed out a quick "everything okay" good night, but my finger hesitated over the send button. I didn't want to seem needy or clingy, so I deleted it. I told myself it was nothing. People get busy. People fall asleep. It's fine. But it didn't feel fine. It felt like a loose thread on a favorite sweater, small but impossible to ignore. The next morning, a message finally came through. Hey, sorry. Fell asleep on the couch. A wave of relief washed over me. See, a totally reasonable explanation. I replied with a cheerful "no worries. Hope you slept okay," and we went on with our day, exchanging the usual updates about work and lunch. Everything seemed normal. But that night, it happened again. No goodnight text. And the night after that, the excuses became a pattern. Sorry, was out with friends. Sorry, long day at work. The sorry was always there, but the warmth was fading. The goodnights, our little anchor in the chaotic sea of daily life, had vanished. And with them, a piece of our connection started to drift away. I found myself checking my phone constantly, my stomach twisting into a knot each time I saw he was online, active on other apps, but our chat remained silent. It wasn't just the texts. The phone calls got shorter. Our inside jokes started to feel forced. When we did meet up, he seemed distracted, his eyes constantly glancing at his phone, a faint, polite smile plastered on his face. It was like watching a movie with the sound turned down. You see the motions, but you can't feel the emotion. I tried to bring it up once, casually. "Hey, I miss our goodnight chats," I said, trying to keep my voice light. He just shrugged. "We're just busy, you know. We can't be texting all the time like when we first started dating." His words hit me harder than I expected. When we first started dating, it was the first time he'd ever framed the beginning of our relationship as a separate, bygone era. Weren't we still in it? Weren't we supposed to be building on that foundation, not looking back at it like a fond memory? I felt a chill run down my spine. The distance between us was no longer just a feeling. It was a reality he had just named. I started to feel like I was going crazy. Was I overthinking this? Was I the one being unreasonable, demanding too much of his time? I scrolled back through our old messages, a digital archaeologist digging through the ruins of our intimacy. There they were, hundreds of them. Good night. Sleep well. Dream of me. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Good night. Each one was a tiny spark, a confirmation that we were on each other's minds before we closed our eyes. Now, there was just silence, an empty space where something beautiful used to be. The silence grew louder than any argument we ever had. Arguments, at least, are a form of engagement. They show that both people still care enough to fight. But this was apathy. This was the slow, quiet erosion of a bond. He wasn't breaking up with me with a big, dramatic speech. He was just letting go, loosening his grip, day by day, text by text, until I was barely holding on by myself. I remember the day I finally understood we were supposed to meet for dinner. He cancelled an hour before, citing a last-minute work thing. I just said, okay. I didn't ask questions. I didn't try to reschedule because I knew he wasn't at work. And I knew that even if he was, it was a choice. He was choosing work or friends or anything else over me. The fight had gone out of me. The anxiety was replaced by a strange, hollow calm. That night, I put my phone on silent. I watched a movie, I read a book, and I made myself a cup of tea. I was performing normalcy, trying to convince myself I was okay. Around midnight, I glanced at my phone. No messages. No missed calls. It didn't even hurt anymore. It was just a fact. The ritual was over. The connection was broken. He never officially ended things. He just faded out like a song ending on a long, slow fade until you're not even sure when it stopped playing. The end wasn't a bang. It was a prolonged, deafening silence. It was the absence of a goodnight text. It taught me that sometimes the most painful goodbyes are the ones that are never said. They are felt in the empty spaces, in the unanswered messages, in the quiet, lonely glow of a phone screen at midnight. If you've ever been through something like this, you know how confusing and heartbreaking it can be. You question yourself, you question the entire relationship. But the truth is, you can't force someone to meet you where you are. You can't hold on to someone who is already letting go. The silence is the answer. The lack of effort is the message. It's a painful lesson, but an important one. Your peace is more important than chasing someone who doesn't want to be caught. Your value isn't determined by someone's inability to text you goodnight. It takes time to heal from a quiet ending. It takes time to stop checking your phone, to stop expecting a message that will never come. But eventually, you do. You start saying goodnight to yourself. You start choosing your own peace over the anxiety of waiting. And one day, you'll realize you haven't thought about that silence in a long time. You've found a new rhythm, a new nightly ritual that belongs only to you. And that's a beautiful thing. Thank you for listening to my story. If this resonated with you, maybe share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories about the real, messy, and beautiful parts of life. See you in the next one.